Welcome back, YouTube. So now that I've got my second coat of filler on, I'm going to rub it down again. I think the first one I'm going to go for is probably a 120 or 180 rub down. What I didn't mention yesterday, I failed to mention, was this. Now, this is my missus's hairdryer. Just a word of warning, if you're going to nick your missus' hairdryer, either buy her a new one or tell her first, because she went fucking schizo. But it's a very good way of blowing the dust out of your repair, and yeah, it's good. But just a word of warning, tell her first or buy her another one. But they are very good. They warm up, not too hot, and they blow, so they're quite handy. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Let's get in here. Getting smoother and looking alright, that. So now I'll do the top. There's a few more filler spots. There's a few more right here. There, it still feels a bit high. The trouble is, it's very hard for me to feel with my toes. That still feels lumpy there. How do these feel like? Wow, this feels good. Good morning, YouTubes. So today I'm in my big shed because it's turned into like minus 50 degrees ish, and I've had to relocate into my big shed. So the car's gone out because I did a review yesterday on the car, on the Tiptronic gearbox. See that up here. So yes, I did a review on the car and I've got the car out, and to do this bumper I thought I'll just use my big garage. It's still really cold because I've got a clear plastic roof, so it's not really much warmer. In fact it's no warmer at all, but it's lighter. And I came out here last night, put the bumper in here and gave it a quick sand and put a coat of primer on it just to see, because I'm not very good at feeling defects. I thought I'd just see where they are by putting some primer on, and I will try and show you now what it looks like. So we've got some of these sort of marks here. They're like cracks. I'm not sure, I couldn't feel them, couldn't see them until I put the stuff on, but they're like cracks. There's another one there, if it focuses. Yes, I'm not sure if I can just sand those down or whether I need to do something else to them. But apart from that, it's actually looking, shape-wise, it's not too bad. Yeah, I think I'm quite pleased with most of how it's come out, but the quite pleased with most of it, but not really the cracks, so I'm not sure what I can do to rectify that, but obviously something has to be done, so I think I'm going to have to go for a bit of sanding, and then maybe another spray of guide coat and see where that takes me. I'm not sure whether to sand it by foot or to go for the DA again. So let's give it a little hit here and see what happens. I can already see that that needs more of something, I don't know what. Let's run. So I wonder if I'll fill it with primer. And then flat it. No, they definitely can see an edge here still. So my other small area of damage is in here. Can you see it from there? You can just see the cracking of the paint. Now on the outside you can't really see much, but when you look from this angle you can see that there's a dip in that edge there. It's very, very small. It probably wouldn't even show unless they'd highlighted it and the cracks were gone. But I'm going to try and heat it up with a blowtorch and make it look a little bit, try and push it out a little bit more. If it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. But I just thought I'd give it a little go, seeing as I can, really, just while the other paint's drying. So I've got a hairdryer gently heating up the other side. So I'm going to try and heat up this side with a blowtorch and then push it with this ring spanner. Whether it will work, I don't know, but I'll give it a go. Well, apart from melting plastic onto my toe, it actually worked pretty well. So, this isn't a walk in the park, and I just want to let you know that my videos aren't to show people how to do things necessarily and the professional way of doing stuff. They're about perseverance more than anything, and how to, you know, how you can do things on your own if you keep trying. Now, if at first you don't succeed and all that, well, this bumper is definitely giving me a challenge, so it's a good thing for this video, for me to put on, because I've got loads of lumps and bumps in it now, which I didn't seem to have before, but I think I might know the problem. I've been putting primer, grey primer, on a plastic bumper. It's not plastic primer, so the bare areas are obviously not liking it. So that's what I think is wrong now. So I'm going to wait for it to dry, flat it all off again, then I'm going to put some primer. I've got white plastic primer. Actually, it's quite funny. I don't do an awful lot of bodywork, but over the years I have accumulated quite a lot of paint and stuff. Loads on that shelf over there, and these are all the silvers I've got. So what I'm going to do for fun, well, not for fun, but just to sort of coat it, I'm going to put a load of silver that's not Porsche on it. I've got some Volvo silver, some Kia silver, some Mercedes silver, lots of different silvers. So to save using all the Porsche stuff straight away, I'm going to basically coat it with all that, and just for a laugh, really, well, not for a laugh, but to use that up, and it will give it a good base, hopefully, to put the top coat on of the Porsche silver. rather than just using grey primer. So I'm going from grey to silver, all sorts of different silvers, but they're all about the same, you know, silver, and then a Porsche silver on the top. So there should be loads of coats of silver on it to protect it, and finally it will have the coat of Porsche silver. If I do decide to do this silver, I might just leave it in the random silvers, put it on the car, do the other bonnet up, the other bumper up, and then seal this one as a primed, you know, basic bumper ready for respray. So yeah, it just depends how it looks on the car and if I like it, because I think, speaking to someone last night, I think my car might have originally had the 4S bumper on it. I thought it was an add-on to begin with, but there's a lot of things added on my car that weren't on the original spec list. It was spec to go to Pakistan originally, and it never did. It ended up in the UK. So I think they got a few things wrong on the spec list, because it's got loads of different things on it that aren't on there. And I think that the body kit that's on it is original. There's never anything in the paperwork to say that it's not. So I think it's original bodywork, which is basically what the 40 Yara had on it. So basically my car's a 40 Yara, but it hasn't got the is it PCM or PSM on it. So I think what happened was someone bought the car, wanted the body kit on it, like the 40 Yara, because it's the same year as the 40 Yaras, but didn't want the PSM to ruin his driving fun. So I think that's what happened. So they couldn't call it a 40 Yara because it didn't have that on it. So it ended up being someone's own preference spec, but the spec list on it was completely, so I don't know, but it's basically, I think it's original, and that makes it probably more valuable than if someone had added it all on. And I always liked the turbo bumper on it, and the you know, the 4S bumper and the GT3 side skirts, like the 40 Yara, and it's a Carrera 2, so it's best of all worlds really. So I think I might just keep that and just try and fix this bumper up, put it on while I do the other bumper, because it needs some paint and stuff, and then put the other bumper back. I think that's the way I'm going to go now. I was selling a car, so I was doing it to sell the car really, but it's beginning to grow on me now. I actually enjoyed driving it more yesterday, doing the Tiptronic review, than I have any other time. The kids hate it still, you know, tough, isn't it? They'll have to go on their bikes, but I'm beginning to like it more and more, and I found it a bit more comfortable yesterday with a cushion. So yeah, look, that's really melted on my toe. Melted plastic. Luckily, most of it's on my nail. But yeah, that's a bit of bumper. I've got a bit of Porsche bumper. My nail's probably worth a fortune now. Okay, so let's crack on with this. I'm going to get sanding down again when it's dry, and then I'm going to try the plastic primer and see if that makes any difference. Sorry about the waffle, but I know you all love it really. So I've got this little sanding block. Can you believe it came all the way from the Amazon? So I thought that was good for the world, buying stuff from the Amazon. It's obviously made out of trees and things. Yeah, if you go onto amazon.co.uk, you can get these, and yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. And I'm doing good for the earth. Now you really have to take me with a pinch of salt, I'm afraid, because I do come up with some stupid jokes. Some people actually take me seriously, and that's quite worrying. So, you have to have a lot of patience for doing bodywork, I can tell you that now. This is another layer of filler. Put some in here where the thing area was. That I've also slapped it around here, and I've put a tiny bit over by the area that I blowtorched my toe in. So hopefully, fingers crossed or toes crossed, this will be the last filler. I'm really hoping, but a bit dangerous doing this, but I'm going to go for brute strength and power. Sod it. It's a Sunday. I wasn't going to use power tools today, but I'm going to very, very quickly run over this because we don't all have the luxury of a working garage. You know, we have to do what we can. So I'm a home mechanic. I've got my home and that's it, and this shed. So unfortunately, you do have to work with what you have sometimes. I would love to have a workshop somewhere, but funds are tough, and I'm going to go into a whole new video on how I managed to get myself a 911 soon. So that'll be a whole new video, and how I progressed from my first car to what I am now. Just to show you all that anyone can live the dream. You don't have to be rich like some of these YouTubers to get something that you want. So just wiped it over with some degreaser, and now I'm going to dry off with some tissue. And then the hairdryer, of course. Just got to make sure there's no grease on there, because paint does not like sticking to grease. Quite frustrating. Yep, that's still showing that annoying part. And here as well. Just don't know how to stop that showing. I don't know whether lots of light coats of primer and sanding in between is going to work or what. So that's plastic primer anyway. So the right thing for the job now. Oh, Trouble is, I'm a bit impatient. Maybe some filler primer is what I need, or something. High build, or just to get rid of those edges. I don't know. Just don't know how to stop them. So we've got high points here. Don't know if that's filler that I've just put in. A high point there, which is on the crack that I've just filled. Sort of bits here that look like a paint run, but it's not. It's just the edges, but it's high. I don't know. Frustrating. Maybe I'm just too much of a perfectionist, but at the end of the day, this is a Porsche bumper, isn't it? So it needs to be of a decent standard. See, there's the repaired area. That's, you know, pretty good. But there's just a few bobbly bits like here. Just don't know. I mean, I must have sanded them about 20 times now. I just don't know what else I can do. I'm using plastic primer. So I think I'm going to ask for your advice now and stop this video. Yeah, that's the best thing to do, isn't it? Can anyone advise me on how I get rid of the bits that look like edges from where the different paints meet? Because I have no idea. I'm lost. Thank you. If you can help, then cheers.